Netflix used to be the king of streaming, the unstoppable titan of TV shows and movies, and the reason for the decline of many other businesses like blockbusters. I mean, who didn't ditch their cable subscription to join the streaming revolution? Netflix had an incredible run for over a decade, but 2023 will go down in history as the year the company's cloak of invincibility was finally stripped away. Even though Netflix's origin story is interesting, it almost ended quite differently. That's right. And now, believe it or not, Netflix seems to have lost it all. So, what could possibly have gone wrong for this streaming giant? Why is Netflix in such serious trouble? Back in the early days, Netflix founder Mark Randolph had always been eager to start his own online venture. He saw how Amazon's online book sales skyrocketed and knew the internet was a goldmine waiting to be tapped. But the big question was, what kind of business should he start? Mark's brain was buzzing with ideas for potential products. But deep down, he knew most of them wouldn't work. That's when his friend Reed Hastings suggested they should focus on something people would pay for regularly. You know, find a customer and have a steady stream of income. They thought about VHS cassettes, as this was the go-to option for movie rentals back then. And that's when it clicked. The movie rental business was ripe for a revamp. Imagine renting movies online. It could be a game changer. But as Mark and Reed explored the idea, reality started to hit them. Keep in mind, it was 1997 and VHS cassettes were still a thing. They were bulky, costly to ship, and prone to breakage during transit. This put mail-order movie rentals at a huge disadvantage compared to traditional brick-and-mortar stores. Mark and Reed realized that their idea might not be viable after all. However, fate had something else in store. Just a few weeks later, Reed stumbled upon an article in a tech magazine about DVDs, a groundbreaking technology that could eliminate many of the drawbacks of VHS cassettes. And that, guys, is where the Netflix story really begins. These small lightweight discs were inexpensive to send. Not only that, but DVDs were also more cost-effective to buy and store. Reed believed that a DVD rental business could be way more profitable than one based on VHS cassettes. Plus, it was such a new technology that no one else had tried it yet. It seemed like the perfect solution, so they tested the idea by mailing a DVD to themselves. When it arrived in perfect condition, the concept of Netflix was born. For financing this project, Reed had some money saved up from his previous business, but Mark was short on cash. So, he turned to his mom, who ended up becoming an early investor in Netflix. Although her initial reason for investing was to support her son, her investment would make her insanely rich in the years to come. With this money, Mark and Reed rented a small office and hired a few people. Imagine this. A humble workplace with foldable tables, some worn-out furnitures, and employees paid well below the minimum wage. Over the next few months, the Netflix team worked endlessly to build their website and collect as many DVDs as they could. Their goal? To pretend that Netflix had every DVD ever produced. They had to guess how many copies of each movie to buy, based on what they thought would be popular. Finally, after months of hard work and questioning their sanity, Netflix was launched. The Netflix website was finally ready to go live. At 9 a.m., they launched their website with a bell connected to their computer to ring with each sale. Mark placed the first ever order, and then the bell started going crazy, ringing again and again and again as internet users ordered DVDs for themselves. But just 15 minutes into the excitement, their website crashed due to the traffic. Back then, you couldn't just add servers and bandwidth instantly, so they had to rush to the nearest electronics store to buy more servers. Once their employee returned with 8 new servers, they managed to get the website back up. However, it only lasted another 45 minutes before crashing again. Despite the chaos, they received 137 orders on their first day. After earning over $94,000, they realized that only $1,000 came from DVD rentals, while the rest was from DVD sales. Netflix had offered 2 options: buy the DVD for $25 or rent it for $4. Mark and Reed had expected most customers to rent, as Netflix could rent out the same DVD multiple times and make more money. But oddly enough, people were buying DVDs instead of renting them. During their first month, Netflix sold a ton of DVDs because no one else was selling them online yet. Mark and Reed knew that other companies would soon enter the market, so they needed to shift their focus. They wanted customers to rent more DVDs because it would bring them higher profit margins and a more unique business model. This would allow them to build a loyal customer base before competitors could catch up, and so the Netflix journey continued. In the summer of 1998, Amazon's founder Jeff Bezos got in touch with Mark and Reed to discuss selling DVDs. After their discussion, Mark and Reed realized that having DVD sales and rentals on the same website might be too complex. It was like running 2 businesses and could seriously confuse consumers. They decided that their dream company would focus on DVD rentals. So instead of selling their company to Amazon, Netflix opted to redirect DVD buyers to Amazon's website. In return, Amazon would promote Netflix as a DVD rental service. This partnership would boost Netflix's popularity, turn Amazon into an ally, and most importantly, allow Netflix to concentrate on DVD rentals, the revenue model Mark and Reed truly believed in. Fast forward to January 2007, Netflix introduced its streaming media service, offering video on demand on the internet. At the time, only 1,000 titles were available for streaming, compared to their 70,000 DVD titles. In November 2008, Netflix stopped selling used DVDs and started renting them out on Blu-ray instead. By May 2011, Netflix's streaming business was responsible for a whopping 30% of all internet traffic during peak hours in North America. They offered a monthly streaming plan for just $7.99. In the same way, Netflix's strategic moves played a significant role in taking over its biggest competitor, Blockbuster. Blockbuster was a leading video rental store during the 90s and early 2000s, with thousands of locations worldwide. But when Netflix pioneered a new approach to movie rentals by eliminating late fees and offering DVDs through their website, Blockbuster struggled to keep up with this new model. Despite launching its own online rental service, Blockbuster was unable to compete with Netflix's innovative strategies and convenience-driven approach. Furthermore, Blockbuster's emphasis on preserving its huge network of physical stores strained its finances, eventually contributing to its bankruptcy in 2010. Netflix's disruption of the entertainment industry didn't just stop at revolutionizing movie rentals. In 2013 and 2014, Netflix made a bold move by investing in its own original programming with, for example, the political drama House of Cards. That marked a significant shift in the television landscape, as by producing its own shows, Netflix not only put itself apart from the other streaming services, but also provided a new level of control over the content it provided to its subscribers. This move further solidified its position as the dominant force in the entertainment industry. After enjoying the status of a streaming giant for almost a decade, things started to turn for Netflix. In 2022, Netflix experienced its first quarterly subscriber drop in almost a decade. So what happened? When the market opened, Netflix shares plummeted by 30%, erasing $45 billion from the company's value in a flash. For their first quarter results, Netflix reported a loss of 200,000 members, even though they were hoping to gain 2.5 million subscribers. They blamed shared passwords and more competition from streaming services like HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus and others. The company attributed the decline to increased competition and the impact of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Leaving Russia cost Netflix 700,000 customers, but the overall economic situation was not helping them either. With inflation on the rise, families started re-evaluating their budgets. In the first quarter of 2022, approximately 1.5 million UK streaming subscriptions were cancelled, with over a third of those being asked to save money. To combat the decline, Netflix hinted at making significant changes to its business model, including reconsidering its approach to password sharing. Following the release of their fourth quarter financial reports at the end of the previous year, Netflix and Facebook saw their stocks plummet. This pattern might indicate that investors are growing more sensitive to unfavorable forecasts. With the Federal Reserve preparing to raise interest rates, fast-growing companies such as Netflix are expected to suffer even more downward pressure, and so the once mighty streaming giant found itself into a precarious situation, struggling to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of entertainment and the economy. Apart from that, Netflix seems to be facing a decline for a few reasons. First, the focus on woke content or progressive propaganda is a major turnoff for many viewers. Even Elon Musk called the platform unwatchable because of this. The shift in content is causing the company's financial decline. As the saying goes, go woke, go broke. With their woke garbage, they've been changing character races in some of their productions, where they cast a black actress to play as Cleopatra. This change has made the Egyptians furious, to the point where a government-owned Egyptian broadcaster has announced a big-budget documentary that will portray Cleopatra in a more realistic way, with a whiter skin, in accordance with her Greek origins. This push for a woke agenda has only driven many people away, as they are revisiting history to the point of becoming a meme. On Twitter, people are mocking the company by creating fake movie covers, like Ryan Gosling starring as Obama, Will Smith starring as Napoleon, or a documentary about Elon Musk. Overall, woke content and competition are the two main reasons behind Netflix's downfall. Last but not least, the story of Netflix is one of innovation, ambition, and adaptation. From its humble beginnings as a DVD rental service to its meteoric rise as a streaming giant, Netflix has always strived to be ahead of the curve. However, the company's recent decline serves as a reminder that even the most dominant players in an industry can face challenges due to increasing competition, global events, and shifting economic conditions. As families reevaluate their budgets and investors become more and more sensitive to negative forecasts, Netflix must continue to adapt and evolve to maintain its relevance in the ever-changing world of entertainment. The future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: Netflix is no more the one it used to be.